So you want to start a conversation in English, but you get stuck right after hello? Yeah, we've all been there. It's super common, but it really doesn't have to be that way. In this explainer, we're going to build a super simple, practical toolkit to take you from just a basic greeting to, a real connection. Let's dive in. That first step can feel like the hardest part, right? But honestly, with the right game plan, it gets way easier. So are you ready to build out that toolkit? Because our first tool, it's a big one. Okay, step one, making that intro. I mean, before you can really get to know someone, you've got to learn their name, right? And this isn't just about being polite. It's literally the foundation for the whole chat. All right, let's start with the absolute basics. You've got, what is your name? Super classic, straight to the point. Now, to answer, you could say, my name is, which is a little more formal, perfect for a business meeting or something. But honestly, in most everyday chats, just a friendly I'm followed by your name. That's what you're going to hear most of the time. It's just more natural. Okay, here's a great follow-up question. This one shows you're actually thinking, asking, what should I call you? This is awesome, especially for people with long or maybe tricky names. Or hey, maybe they just go by a nickname. And when they answer with, please call me or you can call me, it just makes everything feel more relaxed. It's a great way to build a connection fast. And seriously, never be afraid to ask this. How do you spell that? It's not awkward, I promise. It's actually a sign of respect. It shows you really care about getting their name right. And trust me, people will always appreciate that you bothered to ask. Okay, so you've got the names down. What's next? The next logical step is that universal check-in, just asking how they're doing. Think of this as the bridge that gets you from the introduction to the real conversation. So as you can see here, even a small change in how you phrase it totally shifts the vibe. How are you? That's your go-to, your safe bet for pretty much any situation. But if you're in a more chill setting, say with a coworker or a new friend, something like, how are you doing? Or how's everything? Just sounds way more casual and natural. The whole key is just to match your question to the situation you're in. Okay, this next part is so important. A conversation is a two-way street, right? After you give your answer, you've got to toss the question back. A super simple, and you, or how about you, is all it takes to keep things moving. If you forget this, well, the conversation can just die right there. It's a really essential part of the whole back and forth. All right, here's a fun one. This phrase will make you sound a lot more like a native speaker, like instantly. If someone asks how you're doing and, things are just normal, you can totally say same old, same old. It's just a cool, informal way of saying nothing new is going on. It's a great little phrase to have in your back pocket. So we've covered names, we've covered how everyone's doing. Now it's time to dig a little deeper. And a really great, easy way to do that is to talk about where they're from. This can open up a ton of new directions for the chat. The simplest question here is just, where are you from? It's pretty standard, totally safe, and it lets people share a little bit about their background, maybe their country or their hometown. It's like a simple key that can unlock a bunch of new things to talk about. Now pay attention to this, because there's a small but really important difference here. Where are you from is about where you grew up, your origin. But where do you live is about where your home is right now. So for instance, someone might be from Tokyo but live in New York. Knowing that difference helps you ask more specific and honestly more interesting questions about their life. And this is how you show you're really interested. If someone says they're from a huge city, like London, asking, oh, what part of London are you from, takes the whole conversation a level deeper. It shows you're not just reading from a script, It shows you're actually listening, and you're curious to learn more about them. Okay, this next part is where the magic really happens. Say, a real conversation isn't just a back and forth of questions and answers. It's all about how you react, how you engage, and how you show the other person that you're actually listening. Think of these little phrases as your secret weapons for keeping a conversation going. They seem simple, but they are so powerful. Something like, that's interesting, makes them want to keep talking. Oh, really? Invites them to give you more details. Even just a quick, nice, or wow, is like giving them a green light, telling them, hey, I'm listening, keep going. And this right here, this is the whole point. Making someone feel like they're actually being heard is probably the most important part of building a real connection. These little reactions we just talked about, those are the tools you use to build that bridge. Seriously, if you can master this, you've basically mastered the art of conversation. All right, let's wrap this all up. We've basically just put together a complete toolkit for having a great first conversation in English. You have everything you need right now to get started with confidence. Let's just quickly run through that one more time. It's a really simple 4-step flow. First, you introduce yourselves. Second, you ask how they are and don't forget to ask back. Third, you talk about where you're from. And finally, the most important part, you react and you show that you're interested. That's it. That's your roadmap. So you've got the tools. You've got the roadmap. The only thing left is to actually use them. So the real question isn't, what do I say anymore? It's, who am I going to say it to? Who are you going to have your first great English conversation with? Go on, get out there and make that connection.